welcome back to Superbly Said Advanced English Vocabulary and Phrases.
Hi there. Yes, today we're looking at some really useful, nuanced phrases.
And these actually come straight from a fantastic SpeakDuo lesson that one of you shared.
That's right. And SpeakDuo.com, for anyone who doesn't know, it's this great site.
Yeah.
You connect with people all over the world, practice English on video calls. It's really about building that speaking confidence.
Absolutely. And the phrases we saw in that lesson are perfect for advanced learners, right? Moving beyond just the basics.
Exactly. Using idioms and these kinds of phrases, it really elevates your English, makes conversations richer, more, well, superbly said.
Couldn't agree more. So let's jump right in. First up, to be out of season. I hear this mostly with food, like fruit.
Yeah, that's the most common context.
But what's the deeper meaning? And how's it different from just saying, I don't know, unavailable?
Good question. So at its core, out of season means something isn't available during its natural growing or production time. Think, like you said, strawberries in winter in, say, the UK, they're out of season because it's not their natural time to grow there. It implies a sort of natural rhythm.
Right, a cycle, like nature's calendar.
Exactly. And that's the key difference compared to just unavailable or not in stock.
How so?
Well, unavailable is super general. Could be sold out, discontinued, delayed shipping, anything.
Oh.
Not in stock. It's more specific to a shop. They don't have it now, but maybe they'll get more. It's about immediate supply.
Right, temporary.
But out of season suggests a more fundamental limit based on these cycles, agricultural, maybe retail seasons, that kind of thing.
Ah, I see. So it's not just that the shop is out, it's that the world isn't producing it right now in a way.
Precisely. You wouldn't say a car model is out of season, you'd say discontinued. Out of a season has that connection to natural timing or established cycles.
Got it. And the example sentence we pulled really ties into that. Strawberries are expensive when they're out of season.
Yes, the economic side is huge. If something's out of season, getting it often means it's imported, maybe grown artificially.
Which costs more.
Exactly. Higher costs due to rarity or the extra effort involved.
No.
But it's not just about produce.
No.
How else?
Well, metaphorically, it can mean something isn't appropriate for the time of year or context, like trying to buy skis in peak summer.
They'd be out of season in the shops, even though skis don't grow.
Right. It applies to retail cycles, fashion seasons, even certain activities. Christmas decorations are out of season in March.
That makes sense. So in a work context, maybe if a marketing idea isn't landing.
You could definitely say that. Like maybe this aggressive sales push is a bit out of season right now. Customers are looking for something different. It suggests the timing or approach is wrong for the current climate.
That's a really useful extension of the meaning. Okay, so for you listening, have you ever wanted something that was, well, out of season, but not food?
Oh, definitely. I remember looking for a really heavy winter coat one year in, like late April.
Nothing. All the shops had switched to spring and summer stuff. The coat was totally out of season from a retail perspective.
Perfect example. It shows I understand that cyclical unavailability.
Yeah, it adds a nice layer of nuance to your language.
Okay, let's move on. Next step. To be relatable. This feels very current, very media focused.
It really does. You hear constantly about movie characters, books, social media content.
So what is it fundamentally, and how is it more than just, understandable?
Okay, so relatable means something, or someone, is easy for others to identify with, to connect with on a personal, emotional level.
An emotional connection.
Yes, it usually comes from shared experiences, feelings, struggles,
Yeah.
things that are pretty universal to being human. When something's relatable,
Right.
it resonates deeply. You feel seen, understood.
Right, so understandable is more intellectual. Like I can understand the rules of chess, but I don't relate to the queen piece.
Exactly. That's a great way to put it. Understandable is cognitive grasping facts, logic. You understand a scientific paper, maybe?
But you don't feel its pain.
Right. Relatable is experiential, emotional. It taps into your life, your feelings. It creates empathy. You see yourself in the story or the character.
Even if the situation isn't identical to yours.
Yes, because it touches on those shared human elements. Insecurity, hope, awkwardness, joy. It's about that shared humanity, not just shared information. That's why flawed characters are often more relatable than perfect ones.
That makes total sense. And the example we had, her story was very relatable to anyone who's ever struggled with self-confidence.
Perfect. It hits that universal feeling. That's the power of relatable content. It builds empathy, makes the message stick. authenticity, vulnerability.
Mm.
That's often where relatability comes from.
How about in a professional setting? Could you make a product relatable?
You could try to frame its benefits that way. Instead of just listing features, you'd say, we need to show how this software solves those everyday frustrations that are really relatable to our users. Focus on the shared pain points.
Okay, connecting to their experience. And if someone asked you, maybe in an IELTS context, which movie character do you find most relatable?
Okay. Well, the sample answer we looked at was Bridget Jones.
Oh, good one. Why her?
Because she's just so human. Awkward, honest, makes mistakes, worries about things we all worry about, career, love, saying the wrong thing.
Yeah, she's not polished.
Exactly. Her imperfections make her real and therefore incredibly relatable. It's that messy, authentic humanity that connects.
Definitely. Okay, third phrase. This one implies watching closely. To keep tabs on something or someone.
Yes, this one's about monitoring, but with a specific nuance.
What's the core idea, and how does it differ from just watching or monitoring?
To keep tabs on means to monitor or watch something, or someone, carefully and consistently. There's usually a purpose: staying informed, ensuring safety, tracking progress, checking for issues.
So it's active, ongoing.
Yes, and implies an interest or responsibility. It's not just a quick look, it's regular checking in.
Okay, so watching could be passive, like watching clouds.
Right. And monitoring often sounds more technical, systematic, maybe even automated, like monitoring systems or data.
So keeping tabs is more personal, deliberate.
I think so. It suggests a more personal, ongoing attentiveness, often less formal than monitoring. You keep tabs on things you care about or have a stake in.
Like a friend's project.
Yeah, or news that affects you, or maybe your health. It implies you're actively staying updated because it matters, and you might step in if needed. It's more engaged than just watching.
That clarifies it. And the example, parents often keep tabs on their kids' online activity, really fits.
It's a perfect example. It implies responsible oversight for safety. Not necessarily spying or distrust, just staying aware.
What are other typical scenarios?
Oh, a project manager keeping tabs on deadlines, someone keeping tabs on a pet's recovery after surgery. Basically, any situation where you need ongoing, attentive follow-up.
Right. And at work, if your boss asks about a project.
You might say, yeah, I've been keeping tabs on the client feedback and it's looking positive. It shows you're actively overseeing it without micromanaging.
Okay. So listeners, is there anyone or anything you feel you need to keep tabs on regularly?
Well, the sample answer was about keeping tabs on a younger brother studying abroad.
Checking in, making sure he's okay.
Exactly. It shows that personal care aspect.
Yeah.
But it works professionally too. We need to keep tabs on our competitors.
Or keeping tabs on the budget.
Precisely. It conveys proactive, consistent awareness.
Excellent. Phrase number 4, to get on board with something. This often comes up with teams or new ideas, right?
Yes, very much so. It's about agreement and support.
So what's the definition? And is it just a fancier way to say agree?
It means to agree with and, crucially, actively support an idea, a plan, an initiative. Often implies you've come around to it, maybe after some hesitation.
So there's a sense of transition from maybe being unsure to being committed.
Exactly. That's the key nuance. Agree can be a simple, instant mental nod. Yes, I agree, that's a fact.
Right.
But get on board with suggests a bigger step. It implies consideration, maybe discussion, maybe overcoming reluctance, and then committing to support or participate.
Like literally getting on a train or ship for the journey.
That's a great analogy. You're not just watching it leave the station, you're joining the journey. It signals active endorsement, buy-in, becoming part of the effort.
So you might agree a policy is logical, but take time to get on board with actually doing it.
Precisely. It denotes a deeper level of commitment and active participation.
Got it. The example fits perfectly. It took a while, but I finally got on board with the new workout routine.
Yeah, that sentence screams initial struggle or reluctance, followed by acceptance and commitment. It's not just, I agree exercise is good, it's I'm now doing this routine.
It applies to so many things, new tech, team decisions, lifestyle changes.
Absolutely. It signifies overcoming a hurdle, internal or external, and achieving alignment or adoption. Full commitment.
So in a team setting, you might emphasize unity by saying,
Look, for this to work, we really need everyone to get on board with the new strategy. Full commitment from day one. It highlights that need for collective buy-in.
makes sense. Okay, listeners, what's something popular, a trend, maybe that you struggled to get on board with at first?
Well, the sample answer we had was about TikTok.
Yes, the initial I don't get the hype.
Exactly. Struggled to get on board, didn't understand it until trying it and getting hooked. It captures that journey from skepticism to adoption perfectly.
Relatable. Okay, next phrase feels like it describes problems. To set someone back. An obstacle, right?
Definitely implies an obstacle and negative impact on progress.
So what's the core meaning? And is it just a synonym for delay or hinder?
It means to delay or hinder progress, yes, but often with a significant cost involved time, money, effort. It can even imply a regression, having to redo something or recover lost ground.
Okay, so more impactful than just a simple delay.
I think so. That's the nuance. Delay just means something happens later. My train was delayed.
Right.
Hinder means something makes progress slower or harder. Bad weather hindered the rescue.
Still moving forward, just slower.
Yeah. But setback often implies a more significant disruption. You've lost ground or incurred a substantial cost that needs addressing before you can move forward again. Think of it as being pushed backward, not just slowed down.
That idea of losing ground or facing a real cost is key.
Definitely. It implies a more profound impact, beating recovery.
And the example really shows that. The unexpected car repairs set me back a few $100s, so I had to delay my travel plans.
Exactly. There's the direct financial cost, the setback in money, and the indirect consequence, the setback in plans, the delay.
It shows that double impact.
And it applies broadly. A project can be set back by supply issues, a student set back by illness, an athlete set back by injury. It's about that disruption requiring extra resources or time to overcome.
So if a project deadline slipped at work,
You could explain, yeah, the unforeseen technical issues really set us back by about a week, meaning we had to reschedule the client demo. It clearly communicates that loss of time and progress.
Okay, now for you listening, has a small mistake ever, set you back in a surprisingly big way?
Oh, the example answer for this was forgetting a passport for a trip.
Ouch. That's a small action, big setback.
Exactly. A seemingly minor oversight forgetting one document leads to a massive setback.
Yeah.
Canceled trip, lost money, huge disappointment. It really highlights how disproportionate the impact can be.
A very vivid example.
Aye.
Okay, next. To emit power. This sounds intangible, like a presence.
That's a great way to describe it. It's less about actions and more about presence and influence.
So what's the definition? Is it different from just being powerful?
To emit power means to project a strong impression of authority, influence, or gravitas, mainly through demeanor and nonverbal cues. It's like an aura.
An aura. Interesting. So not just having official power like a boss.
Right. Being powerful might just mean having the authority to give orders or make decisions. Being authoritative often means having expertise or a commanding tone.
Okay.
But emitting power is more subtle. It's about an intrinsic quality. Someone can be quiet, maybe not even high-ranking, but their presence just commands respect. Calm confidence, maybe wisdom.
So it radiates from them, even without speaking.
Exactly. It's felt by others. It's less about what they do, more about who they are in that moment, their composure, their focus, their self-assuredness.
That's a fascinating distinction. The example captures it well. Despite her quiet demeanor, she emitted power and confidence the moment she stepped on stage.
Perfect. It shows that power isn't about volume or assertion. It's an inner quality that projects outward. We've all met people like that, right? They walk in, and the room sort of shifts.
Yeah, you feel their presence.
That's it. Often linked to self-belief, integrity, a clear sense of purpose.
So describing an inspiring leader at work.
You could say, our department head really emits power. She listens intently, and when she speaks, everyone pays attention, not because they have to, but because her presence is compelling.
Nice. Listeners, can you think of someone, public figure, maybe someone you know, who emits power without saying much?
The example given was Michelle Obama.
Oh, absolutely. Calm but commanding.
Yes. Her composure, her presence, it's undeniable. It's that quiet strength, that gravitas that's emitting power.
Great example. All right, next one sounds a bit naughty. To get away with something.
Yes, it often implies doing something wrong or against the rules.
So what's the core meaning? And how is it different from just, say, escaping punishment?
To get away with means doing something wrong or breaking a rule without getting caught or facing the negative consequences you'd normally expect.
The key is avoiding the consequences.
Yes, successfully evading accountability. Something should have happened, punishment, getting told off, but it didn't.
Okay, so escaping punishment is maybe more neutral, just states the outcome.
Exactly. Escaping punishment or avoiding consequences are factual. To get away with often has this extra layer, a hint of cleverness, luck, maybe slight mischief for triumph.
Ah, that tone, like you beat the system somehow.
Yeah, a little bit. It can be for harmless things, getting away with wearing jeans to the office on a non-casual day, or more serious things. But there's often that undertone of, I shouldn't have, but I did, and nothing happened.
Right. The example. He got away with skipping class because the teacher didn't notice.
Classic case. Rule broken. No detection, no consequence. That's the essence. It covers everything from sneaking an extra cookie to more serious stuff, but the common factor is that lack of accountability.
Okay. How about at work? Could you use it carefully?
Maybe cautiously. Like, we sort of got away with that typo in the presentation because no one spotted it, but we need to be more careful. Acknowledges the oversight, but also the luck.
Right. Listeners, think about a time you got away with something silly or harmless.
The sample answer was wearing sneakers to a formal event and nobody noticing.
Ha! Perfect lighthearted example. Minor rule bend, zero consequence.
Exactly. It shows the less serious end of the spectrum. But yeah, the phrase works across that range, always emphasizing that lack of comeback for something you probably shouldn't have done.
Got it. Okay, penultimate phrase. To make a moment of something. This sounds positive, intentional.
Very much so. It's about adding significance to the everyday.
So the meaning. And how is it different from just enjoying something?
It means consciously turning a simple activity into something special or memorable. It's a deliberate effort to elevate an ordinary experience.
Elevate, so not just passively enjoying it.
Right. Enjoying is experiencing pleasure. You enjoy a sunny day. Celebrating is usually for big occasions, birthdays, holidays.
Okay.
But making a moment of is active. You choose to make something simple feel special. You add intention, maybe ritual, focus.
By transforming the mundane.
Precisely. It's about mindfulness, appreciation, taking something routine and consciously crafting it into a richer experience.
So dinner isn't just eating, it's...
Lighting candles, playing music, putting phones away, really talking. You're actively making it a memorable moment, not just consuming food, cherishing the present.
That's lovely. The example reflects that perfectly. Instead of rushing through dinner, we lit candles and made a moment of it.
Exactly. It shows that shift from routine function to cherished experience, adding ritual, beauty, presence.
It makes everyday life richer.
It really does. You can make a moment of your morning coffee, a walk in the park, reading a chapter of a book, just by bringing intention and appreciation to it.
How about at work? Could you make a moment of something?
Maybe celebrating a team success. Let's not just send a quick email when we hit the target. Let's take 15 minutes, gather everyone, and really make a moment of acknowledging the hard work.
Nice idea. Okay, listeners, do you ever consciously make a moment of a small daily ritual, like your morning coffee?
The sample answer was exactly that. Sitting by the window, soft music.
Turning coffee into a mini retreat.
Yes, adding those sensory details, that pause. It's about finding joy in those small, deliberate actions.
Oh, love that. Okay, final phrase. This one's informal but very expressive, a whole thing.
Ah, yes. This one's great for emphasis and casual chat.
What does it mean exactly? It sounds like more than just a hobby.
It is. It's used emphatically to show someone is really, really invested in something. Like it's a major preoccupation or a complex setup in their life.
So a whole thing implies complexity.
Yeah.
Deep involvement.
Yes, extensive involvement, dedication, maybe even a bit of an obsession. It goes way beyond a casual interest. It suggests it's a significant, possibly intricate part of their routine or identity.
So not just, I like gardening, but she has a whole gardening thing going on.
Exactly. That implies more than just a few pots. It suggests research, planning, special tools, maybe composting.
Yeah.
A whole system.
A system, okay. It implies a level of commitment that's, well, a bit extra.
Often, yeah. Maybe slightly obsessive, but usually in an understandable or endearing way, it signals, wow, this is a really big deal for them. Full immersion.
Right. The example sentence nails it. She's got a whole skincare thing going on with all her creams and serums.
Perfect. It paints a picture not just of using moisturizer, but of a multi-step, elaborate routine, lots of products, maybe research. It's complex involved. A significant personal project.
Okay. Could you use it for work? Maybe a big project?
Yeah, informally. This new product launch has become a whole thing. There are spreadsheets for spreadsheets. It conveys the massive scale and complexity.
Gotcha. All right, listeners, is there a whole thing you're kind of obsessed with right now?
The sample answer was candles.
Candles, how is that a whole thing?
Well, if you have loads of them, Different scents for different moods, maybe specific burning rituals. It goes beyond just lighting one occasionally. It becomes
Yeah.
a whole candle thing.
Ah, I see. The collection, the knowledge, the routine.
Exactly. Like a great colloquial way to express that intense, dedicated interest in something.
Fantastic. Okay, well, after unpacking all those nuances, I think it's quiz time.
Yes. Let's see how well everyone's grasped these.
All right, I'll read the question and the options. You'll have 3 seconds to think, then we'll hear the answer. Ready?
Let's do it.
Question 1. What does the phrase "to be out of season" mean? Is it 1. Not currently available in its natural growing period. 2. No longer stylish or fashionable. 3. Offered at a discount due to low demand. Okay, 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1.
The correct answer is 1, not currently available in its natural growing period.
Question 2. What does the phrase "to be relatable" mean? 1. Easy for others to identify with or understand. 2. Relevant to academic research. 3. Able to be changed or adjusted to suit a person. Think about it. 3, 2, 1.
And the answer is 1, easy for others to identify with or understand, that emotional connection.
Number 3. What does the phrase "to keep tabs on someone or something" mean? 1. To record someone's actions legally. 2. To rely on someone for updates. 3. To monitor or watch something or someone carefully. Time to decide. 3, 2, 1.
Correct is 3, to monitor or watch something or someone carefully, that consistent, purposeful watching.
Question 4. What does "to get on board with something" mean? 1. To sign up for a long-term project. 2. To agree with or support an idea or plan. 3. To follow instructions without question. Take a moment. 3, 2, 1.
It's 2, to agree with or support an idea or plan, remembering that active support part.
Question 5. What does "to set someone back" mean? 1. To give someone a second chance. 2. To delay or hinder progress. 3. To remind someone of their past. Think carefully. 3, 2, 1.
Number 2, to delay or hinder progress, often with that implication of cost or regression.
Question 6. What does "to emit power" mean? 1. To control others with fear. 2. To charge electronic devices wirelessly. 3. To give off or project a strong impression of authority or influence. Almost there. 3, 2, 1.
That's 3, to give off or project a strong impression of authority or influence, through presence, not just action.
Question 7. What does "to get away with something" mean? 1. To do something wrong or against rules without being caught or punished. 2. To move away from a place quickly. 3. To do something wrong or against rules without being caught or punished. And the last one, question 8. What does "to make a moment of something" mean? 1. To forget the details of a moment. 2. To exaggerate a minor event unnecessarily. 3. To turn a simple activity into something special or memorable. Your time. 3, 2, 1.
And the answer is 3, to turn a simple activity into something special or memorable. The lovely intentionality.
Phew. Well, that was a truly superbly said exploration of some advanced English phrases. Hopefully you listening found that useful and feel a bit more confident about using them.
Yeah, they really add depth to the conversations.
Yeah.
But remember, knowing them is one thing, using them is key. Practice is everything.
Absolutely.
And platforms like SpeakDuo.com are just brilliant for that. Actually talking to people, trying out these phrases in real conversations.
Good point.
Plus, for the premium members on SpeakDuo, those AI corrections are fantastic for refining how you use phrases like these, getting that nuance just right.
Definitely worth checking out. So as we wrap up, here's a thought for you. Which phrase from today are you excited to maybe make a moment of by using it soon? Or perhaps there's a whole thing in your life you could describe using that phrase now.
Keep practicing. Keep exploring language.
And keep making those connections. Thanks for tuning in.